I'll call the meeting to order. Everybody, please excuse my voice. I'm auditioning for Godfather 12. Anyway, we'll get through it. Welcome, everyone, to the regular council meeting of January 27th, 2026. A couple of reminders for today's meeting. Members of the media may sit in the upper balcony at the reserved media table. All other guests, please take a seat in the first floor gallery. If that is full, there is overflow seating on the second floor in the Victoria Room. Well, you will be able to see and hear the meeting, but some of the folks who are taking up the chairs right now are going to move down here in about 10 or 15 minutes, so it will open up some seating. We live stream the meeting on our YouTube channel, and the recording is available after the meeting. The meeting is also broadcast on Broadcast Live on your TV, Cogeco Subscribers Channel 10, HD Channel 700, and rebroadcasted on Wednesday at 9 a.m. on Saturday at noon. Because meetings are accessible to the public in all of these ways, video or audio recording by members of the public is not permitted in council chambers. This is to ensure that all attendees and those who come to make a deputation feel at ease. And now I will tell you that for today, we're going to waive that for the presentations, and families can take pictures and video if they so choose. Thank you for your cooperation. Ask everyone to rise for O Canada.
The true north, strong and free, from far and wide, O Canada, we stand on guard for thee. God keep our land glorious and free. Oh, Canada, we stand on guard for thee. Oh, Canada, we stand on guard for thee.
Please be seated. We'll now have a moment of silent reflection. Thank you. Deputy Mayor Richardson, you have the open session agenda with one amendment. We will move item 8.1, Starter Company Plus Graduate Ceremony Presentation to before item 6, which is deputations. So if you do the adoption of the open session agenda as amended.
Thank you, and through you, Mayor. Moved by myself, seconded by Councillor Doble, that the agenda for the open session of the regular council meeting on Tuesday, January 27th, 2026 be adopted as circulated with the following amendments. Addition, item 6.2, being a deputation by Janet Patterson regarding the possible placement of the former Omemee train station at the Omemee Beach Park relating to item 9.3.1 on the agenda.
Thank you. All in favor? And that's passed. Are there any disclosures of pecuniary interest on anything on today's agenda? Seeing none, should any arise during the course of the meeting, advise the chair and we'll deal with it accordingly. Notices and information by members of council and staff. Council, Deputy Mayor Richardson.
Thank you, and through you. While many of my quiet communities in Ward 8 are taking a break from local events this month, I thought it was a perfect moment to recognize the volunteers who gave so much in 2025 and helped make each event successful. And then also another reminder that our food banks continue to experience increased demand, and they support more families. So as a meaningful reminder, please donate whenever you're able. Another announcement is I did have a conversation with the mayor and myself, and we definitely discussed the importance of acknowledging the exceptional work of our snow operators team. And I'm confident that council shares this appreciation around the table. This winter has been relentless, with more challenging weather still ahead, and it's important to recognize that we'll not be navigating these conditions without the dedication of our frontline operators, management, and support staff. To date this winter, we've had 44 full callouts and 19 partial callouts. For context, the city typically experiences approximately 50 winter events over an entire season. Clearly, we're trending very high this season. This is also an important reminder of the demanding nature of this work. Our operators begin their days extremely early, and this season has required a significant number of early callouts. Before their shift even begins, they're driving in the same difficult conditions the public is also experiencing. Their day starts throughout with proper equipment inspections, preparing trucks for weather conditions, including installing chains, driving freezing rain events, refueling, reloading, following prescribed routes for optimal timing, maintaining detailed operational logs, and completing post-shift cleaning and equipment checks. Many of us sitting around this table have gone out with our operators on a full ride out, and we truly respect the skill it takes to operate one of these machines in very unfavorable conditions. As a reminder, residents can show support to our operators by keeping vehicles off the roads during plowing, placing waste and recycling bins well back from the curb and off snow banks, avoiding pushing snow on the roadway, giving plows adequate space, and adhering to winter parking regulations. The action helps operators clear routes more efficiently and safely. As we continue through this remainder of this season, which I'm sure will bring us a few surprises, let us continue to express our thanks and work together with cooperation, kindness, and patience.
Thank you. Councillor Doble.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Last week, I had the opportunity to attend the Rural Ontario Municipal Association Conference in Toronto, along with yourself, Councillor Joyce, and CAO Taylor, where I took in presentations on OMERS governance, finance and taxation, municipal infrastructure, economic growth, and addressing the health human resources crisis in seniors' care. It was also an opportunity to meet with elected officials and administrators. I found the sessions to be valuable and worthwhile, and I appreciate the opportunity to attend on behalf of the City of Kawartha Lakes. Just last week, I also learned that Fleming College has soared in the annual Top 50 Research Colleges in Canada rankings, climbing from 31st to 17th overall. The list, released by Research InfoSource Inc., highlights Fleming's driving innovation and industry impact across Canada. This impressive climb was fueled by a surge in industry partnerships and activity across Fleming's applied research centers. Fleming ranked first in industrial research income growth, marking an impressive 300% increase in industry funding from previous years. Unlike traditional grants, industry income represents companies putting their own resources on the line to collaborate with Fleming researchers, and it is a strong signal that community and industry partners see real value in the expertise and facilities available through our college. This is timely, Mayor Elmsley, in that next month I will be bringing forward a resolution with respect to the funding formula to Ontario colleges and universities that is currently under review by the province as it relates directly to the Frost campus of Fleming College, which has been and remains vital to the educational, economic, and social fabric of the city of Kawartha Lakes. Lastly, Global News recently reported that 16-year-old stock car racer Ollie Ferguson from Lindsay will be competing this Saturday in the Madhouse Classic 100 Sportsman's Race during the NASCAR Cookout Clash weekend at Bowman Gray Stadium in North Carolina. Ollie Ferguson is about to compete on one of the biggest stages in American stock car racing, the latest milestone in a life already defined by resilience. At age 4, Ollie beat a rare form of life-threatening bone cancer involving a bone marrow transplant and an arduous 2-year recovery. Ollie's interest in racing started at age 9, where he went on to win races at the junior level, moving on to full-size stock cars at age 13 and racing against adults in the Ontario Sportsman Series. Global News quoted Ollie's father, Rob Ferguson, saying, "I'm a pretty proud dad. He has come a long way in his life. He's fought a lot of battles, both on the track and off." Well, Ollie, we're proud of you too, and I'm sure I speak for all of council in extending our love and best wishes to the Ferguson family this coming weekend. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you. Councillor Ashmore.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. A few announcements. Today marks the International Holocaust Remembrance Day, and remembering the 6 million Jewish victims of the Holocaust. Just wanted to put that out there today. This is celebrated, commemorated not only locally, but nationally and internationally of International Holocaust Remembrance Day. Second, on Friday, February 6th at 7 p.m. at the Omemee Legion, the Omemee Community Fund will be hosting a loonie auction, and this is an incredible amount of work that's gone into this event. That'll be happening on Friday, February 6th at the Omemee Legion. The doors open at 6 p.m. And I want to thank so many people that have put this together and that are working hard to get this and to raise money for our community, for the community of Omemee. And that'll be hopefully a great event, and people can still come and buy tickets of various items. Lots of activities that evening to raise funds. So again, February 6th, Friday at 7 p.m. And finally, this year the annual radar run, weather permitting, will be coming back to Pleasant Point on Sturgeon Lake, and this event attracts a little over 1,000 people every year. So Sunday, February 15th on Sturgeon Lake, weather permitting, and it looks like it'll most likely be a go this year. I want to give special thanks to the Dunsford District Lions Club and especially Mike Jancic for putting this together. So there'll be a lot of sponsors and vendors out on the lake there, and of course snowmobilers and racers, and it'll be a great event. So if you're in the Pleasant Point area, feel free to come out and participate, or just have a look at. It's an amazing event. So that's the day before Family Day, Sunday, February 15th. Thank you.
Thank you. Councillor Joyce.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, and through you. Yes, as Councillor Doble said, I was at the ROMA conference, or the Rural Ontario Municipal Association conference, and I just can't emphasize enough how the value of attending a conference such as that, where you learn best practices, lessons learned from other municipalities have tried something, or mistakes that they've made that they've said, like, this is what we did, it didn't work, so we take that home and either share that best practice or that mistake that they made, so we don't make the same mistakes. And some of the sessions I attended, just for your own interest here, is Exercise Cold Front, Strengthening Provincial Municipal Coordination During an Ice Storm. That was a workshop. Strengthening Rural Vitality Through Arts and Culture. The Roadmap for Waste, unpacking where rural municipalities fit in. That's with the new waste management that's kicked in 2026. The New Intersection of Energy and Economic Policy, unpacking the implications of the new Code of Conduct, which is yet to come through. Bringing faster internet to your municipality. Leading the way on Ontario's economic resilience and access to health in rural communities. It was very valuable, and look forward to going again next year. Locally, the Little Britain Community Association is having its 3rd annual Bonspiel at the Oakwood Center there. It's Saturday, January 31st. There's still room. It's $80 per team, and I emphasize you don't need to know how to curl. Most of the people enjoying this Bonspiel don't know how to curl. It's more for fun and laughs and meet new people. And they still have some room. It starts at 12 noon. And on my monthly library notice, Kawartha Lakes Public Library is inviting seniors to explore technology, local history, and memory preservation through a series of hands-on workshops. So this is only at the Lindsay branch. And so for a welcoming, supportive group setting where participants will build digital skills and learn to navigate the internet safely. This leads on to later in the month of February, Creative and Memory Lab, also at the Lindsay branch. This is a new space that will provide free access to specialized equipment and resources to preserving photos, documents, and treasure keepsakes. Tools many residents, especially seniors, in terms of preserving their treasures. Then running from February 4th to March 4th, a series of guest speakers and library staff covering topics such as social media, online safety, document photo preservation, music, and memorabilia, and capturing personal stories through writing and audio recording is on hand. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Councillor Perry.
Thanks very much, Mayor. There's a lot going on in Ward 3 and surrounding area these days. On Sunday, coming up February 1st already. Where has January gone? It's a great season for it, though. On Sunday, they're going to have the Kawartha Lakes Winter Festival at Egan Ridge. There will be snowshoe running, trail shoe running, family activities for all. It's an inclusive event and all are welcome. That begins Sunday morning at Egan Ridge. Also this Thursday coming up, the Fenelon and District Chamber of Commerce is having their annual general meeting. And before, like me, you think all AGMs might be a little on the slow side, the Fenelon and District Chamber of Commerce does the best AGMs I've ever seen. They've had past buffets and bingo. They really know how to whoop it up when it comes to AGMs. That's this coming Thursday, so 2 days at the Locker in Fenelon Falls, beginning at 6 p.m. And I really want to acknowledge all of the work of Mary Lee Boston and her team at the Fenelon Chamber, the great collaboration with the city's Economic Development Department, and all the volunteers on the Board of Directors that really do a lot to promote business in our local economy in Fenelon Falls. And last but not least, Mayor, back by popular demand, we're having Monday night at 7 p.m. Coffee with a Cop. Our community policing officer from the Kawartha Lakes OPP will be out again to meet with local residents, this time in the Cameron area at the New Horizons Club in Southview Estates, 7 to 8 p.m. Coffee and refreshments will be served. Childcare on site, and it's accessible. And judging from the last one in Fenelon Falls that Deputy Mayor Richardson was able to attend, everyone found it very informative, relaxed, and learned a lot about our role in all of our roles in working with each other to keep our communities safe. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you. Councillors Warren, Yeo, and McDonald, do you have anything? Seeing none. I'll wrap it up with just where the CAO and I were at the Roma conference. You've heard about Councillor Doble and Councillor Joyce and the plenary sessions and the workshops that they attended. As part of the Eastern Ontario Wardens Caucus, we met with cabinet ministers and also parliamentary assistants. The first one on the Monday with the Wardens Caucus, we met with the opposition party NDP and brought them up to date on concerns we have in Eastern Ontario and hot button items. And that went, the meeting was positive, and participants felt that their concerns were heard. In the afternoon, the CAO and I met with Parliamentary Assistant Matthew Ray, who is the Assistant to the Minister of Municipal Affairs and Housing. And we raised questions about the future of the Building Faster Fund. The issue was noted by the ministry, and they'll get back to us with clarification. There will be something going forward, but it probably won't be announced until the provincial budget in March. We also advocated to continue DCs for smaller communities who have a smaller tax base. And the parliamentary assistant was in agreement with us, and I think that they have heard the message from the smaller communities. We also met with the parliamentary assistant to the Minister of Transport, and we continued to push for GO Transit for Kawartha Lakes. The situation remains unchanged, and there's no update on the timing at this point, but we keep pushing, and we will continue to push for that important link for Kawartha Lakes to GO. We also met with the Solicitor General, and we focused on the rising cost of local police working in correctional facilities, especially related to the Eastern Ontario Correctional Complex. Similar concerns were raised by other communities like Penetanguishene, and the Solicitor General acknowledged the issue and said he would investigate, and so we expect to hear back from him in the not-too-distant future. The Wardens Caucus also met with Hydro One, and this was about the expansion of Wi-Fi and cellular service. There are a large number of hydro poles that need to be installed. In 2026, we need 30,000 poles put in prior to September, and then 10,000 poles a month for the foreseeable future. And Hydro One has confirmed that they're on board with that and recognize the urgency so that we can get to better than 98% coverage in the province by 2027. So, that's a ongoing commitment from Hydro and the Wardens Caucus through their shoot-off organization, EORN, which is the Eastern Ontario Regional Network. During the whole conference, homelessness was a major topic, as was raised many times, particularly in the Bear Pit, about picking up recyclables. So those two issues are front and center for the government, and I expect that they will continue to address those, and probably homelessness will be addressed in the budget, and I think that they are going to have to move much quicker on the recycling issue, because it's a huge problem throughout Ontario, and not just Eastern Ontario, and not just Kawartha Lakes. So all in all, we had, I felt, a successful conference, and we met with a number of other people from other municipalities, as Councillor Joyce pointed out, and you find out that you're not alone. You all have the same problems, and there's different ways of approaching them. So all in all, a very good 2 days. Thank you. I need a motion. Oh, sorry, CAO, anything from staff? No? Okay. Ms. Mustard, did you want to say anything? Or perhaps Ms. Greenberg?
Are you going to the presentation?
Yeah, we will. 1 minute. Just before we get to the presentation, I need a motion that the minutes of the regular council meeting of December 9th, 2025 be received and adopted. Councillor Ashmore, Councillor Perry, all in favor? And that's passed. We'll now move on to the presentation. Sandy Greenberg, Economic Development Officer, Small Business Program. And we will meet at the podium.
Well, good afternoon, Mayor and Council. It is my pleasure to welcome Sandy up to talk about the Small Business Centre's program Start a Company Plus and start the award ceremony for completion of the program for 2025. The Small Business Centre is one of 54 different centres across Ontario that is part funded by the Government of Ontario. And you also, as council and as a community, fund this program, which is all about helping entrepreneurs in the community explore entrepreneurship and start a business and have someone walk with them through the beginning of starting a business, which is really important for economic development in a community, self-determination of people in our community. And we all know through research that businesses that are well looked after in the beginning with good support networks do much better long term. So today, Sandy is going to come and talk about one very special program that we have called Start a Company Plus. Christine McLean, who also supports the Small Business Centre, is here as well to join in this celebration, as well as the participants of last year. So enjoy.
Oh, okay, sorry. Okay, so today I just wanted to, we're here actually to celebrate these amazing entrepreneurs who have been through the Starter Company Plus program in 2025. I've been doing this with the city for over 6 years, and each year I think the quality of entrepreneurs keeps getting better and better. It's really an honor to be able to work with these businesses, watch them grow, watch them learn, watch them thrive, and give back to the community. So without any much ado, I'm going to give out the certificates to each individual that has been through this program. We're going to start with, maybe not. Pardon me? It's green already. No, it needs to be. Okay, thank you. Okay, so we're starting with we have 2 cohorts a year, and our spring cohort, our first graduate that we want to congratulate is Claudia Gabbery, and I'll give that to you. Yep.
No, you
You want me in it too?
Absolutely.
All right. And the next person that has gone through the program, that was such a pleasure, Judy Briglio.
Families, if you want to take a picture you can do so.
Congratulations. I'll have you give that to her. We have Jeff Loosemore. Well, I'm going to get behind that then. Emily Hopkins. Whoop. Thank you. Kevin is not here today. Unfortunately, we'll miss him. And Jess is not here, was not able to make it as well. And Brian was not able to make it as well. So we are on to the fall graduates. Okay, this isn't true. I think you have Brittany's there. Yeah. Our next graduate is Brittany Goodfellow. Our next graduate is Ryan, and Tiffany Kindry will be here to, accept it. Thanks, Tiffany. Yeah, thank you. My husband is ill, so. Autumn Donnelly. We have Wade Bond.
Thank you very much, Mayor.
We have Bob Edwardson.
Bob, how you doing? Good. Thank you.
We have David Granick. Fiona Baird. And we have Holly Wilson. And Holly's so graciously supplied our lunch.
Yeah.
The Loaded Spud on 10th Street.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Yeah.
Zoe, we're gonna take 10 minutes and go and take pictures. How do I turn this off? Any family who wants to take pictures, please come. We'll be on the stairs at Colburn Street.
Somebody know how to, oh.
Okay, calling the meeting back to order. We'll now move into deputations. Our first deputation, item 6.1, objection to the federal gun buyback program relating to item 13.1 on the agenda, Mr. Luke Proctor. Mr. Proctor, you have 5 minutes.
Mr. Mayor, Council, thank you for the opportunity to address you today on behalf of Kawartha Lakes firearms owners. My name is Luke Proctor. I'm a husband to an incredible wife, father to 3 amazing boys, and I've been a resident of the Kawartha Lakes for about 15 years. I'm also a licensed gun owner, just like many residents of the city. I estimate that there's around 6,000 to 10,000 firearm license holders in the city of Kawartha Lakes, and we're all concerned about this federal gun ban and confiscation program. I come before you to ask Council to commit to refusing to participate in this gun grab and permanently refuse to commit any municipal resources to this attack on safe, responsible firearms owners. These current bans were rolled out in 2020 as an attempt at improving public safety, a noble goal, no doubt. However, as any newspaper reporter, police officer, or common sense can tell you, crimes committed with guns are, surprise, committed by criminals with illegally possessed, stolen, or smuggled handguns. These current gun bans only apply to legally purchased, stored, and used long guns, including rifles, shotguns, even .22 caliber rimfire plinkers that many of us used in our youth. These bans and confiscations seek to destroy rural life while having no impact on the very criminals who are committing all the crimes. Did you know that everyone holding a firearms license has a criminal record check by the RCMP every day? In order to even get a firearms license, one needs to complete a federally regulated training course, pass written and practical tests, and pass an RCMP background check. These are the least likely people to commit crimes. Firearm owners are hunters, farmers, collectors, and sports shooters. We purchase these firearms to protect livestock from predators, to provide food for our families, to enjoy a safe and fun, if not expensive, hobby. Indeed, thousands travel in and to Kawartha Lakes to safely hunt every year. There have been thousands of these now banned guns in our woods and fields every fall. These bans and confiscations serve only to criminalize the least criminal people in our city. We have spent significant personal resources on what were legal and effective firearms, only to have someone in Ottawa who knows nothing about guns say they look scary. Enforcement and participation in this program will take millions of dollars in municipal resources away from police and other justice officials working to fight actual criminals. Indeed, many police officers are gun owners too, and are equally impacted by these inane, illogical, and punitive bans. We trust police with a firearm every day, but the government doesn't trust them off-duty with a hunting rifle or shotgun because of how they look? As my 7-year-old son says, that's crazy. These unjust and arbitrary attacks make criminals out of neighbors, friends, family, veterans, and even the officers dedicated to upholding the law. I ask that the City of Kawartha Lakes join other municipalities in concretely and absolutely refusing to participate in this gun buyback scheme and instead continue to focus our limited police and justice resources on actually battling crime. Let our police continue to take drug dealers, human traffickers, and gang members off our streets and leave us responsible, safe, and vetted firearms owners alone. Send a message to Ottawa that Kawartha Lakes gun owners are not criminals. Numerous police services, municipalities, even entire provinces have committed to refuse to cooperate with these attacks on licensed firearm owners. We ask that Kawartha Lakes join them in supporting and protecting our firearm owners and firearm heritage from politically motivated ideological attacks. We ask that Kawartha Lakes stand up and recognize that firearm owners form the bedrock of this community. We are not a threat to public safety. Mr. Mayor, Council, I appreciate this opportunity to address you today, and I look forward to your support. Thank you.
Thank you. If you'd stay there for a minute in case there are any questions. I have a motion to receive the deputation. Councillor Ashmore, Councillor McDonald. Are there any questions for the Deputant, Councillor Ashmore?
Just thank you, Mr. Mayor, and thank you for allowing Mr. Proctor to come to council to be a deputant, and just wanted to thank him for his time today, as well as the support of the people, the legal firearms owners that are in Canada. Some of us on council are firearms owners, and like you said, we're vetted every day, and I'll get into this when I present my memo further in the agenda, but we appreciate that the police, as we speak, coming in all the time, that they are not participating in this gun buyback, but the urgency and the fear is what happens after October 31st with the amnesty, where you mentioned there are 3 types of firearms, but some firearms have jumped the queue from non-restricted right to prohibited, and those who have those and they were put there for political reasons, not for valid technical reasons, but they will be actually criminalized if this is not stopped. So if this is something that municipalities or across Canada and every province and territory are lining up and saying, we've had enough. We're fed up with this treatment. And hopefully we'll get council support for my motion, my memo later on. But I wanted to thank you and certainly want to thank everybody who came today to the council chamber to support this cause. Thank you.
There was a question in there somewhere, was there?
I'll ask a question then. through you, Mr. Mayor, to Mr. Proctor. What would you say is the most effective means of getting the public, educating the public? Sometimes we speak to the choir that know the issue quite well, but for those who, I don't mean to separate the demographics, but say the urban environment, I'll say that, where majority of maybe are kind of hesitant as to saying, well, maybe this is a good idea. How would you educate those people that this gun confiscation, gun buyback is not a good idea?
I think for a few ways. Number one is simple stats, that you can look at Stats Canada website, where fewer than 3% of all violent crime involving guns involves a licensed firearm owner. So number one. Number two, I think, take a friend, take a family member, take a child out hunting with you, right? Even if it's only a 22. See how fun and safe it is to learn firearm safety. To be able to use a firearm responsibly. And second to that is, range days. We're blessed to be surrounded by lots of, Crown land. There's ranges within a short drive of Kawartha Lakes. And to take a friend, relative, an acquaintance, even a counselor, if some of you have never shot a gun before, I'll be happy to invite you to a range day. Just let me know what day works. I'll make it happen. But to go to a range day and just teach responsible firearm safety and realize that, we're not out there committing crimes. We're not being irresponsible. And it's not these legally stored and used firearms that are the problem. It's our, the smuggled firearms used by drug dealers, human traffickers, gang members, things like that, that's causing all of the crime.
Thank you.
Thank you. Seeing no more questions, all in favor? And that's received. Thank you. Thank you for coming today. Item 6.2 is possible placement of the former Omemee train station at the Omemee Beach Park. Relating to item 931 on the agenda, Ms. Janet Patterson. Ms. Patterson, you have 5 minutes.
Mayor Elmsley, Council. Good afternoon. My name is Janet Patterson. I am a lifelong resident of Omemee and one who is passionate about the value of our Omemee Beach Park property. My connection stems from having my first part-time job helping to maintain the beach park. That involved trimming with handheld clippers around the ridiculous amount of cedar posts that once framed the property. My friends would be sitting at the picnic table visiting on Friday evening while I made my way around every single post. They would be carving their name into the picnic tables as I yelled to stop because I would be the one to have to sand them down by hand and repaint them. Looking back, I'm thankful for that job and how it helped shape my work ethic and my pride in the Omemee Beach property. So, as you know, 2 members of the Omemee Lions Club made a deputation at the last council meeting regarding the Omemee train station being placed on the beach park property. They have taken on the project to refurbish the historic train station, and definitely a worthwhile endeavor and one that I fully support. However, it is the request to relocate the train station at the beach park on valuable green space that I do not support. Omemee residents have waited 40+ years to have the beach park updated and revitalized, and I couldn't be more excited to finally see the construction underway. Thank you. As the construction at the park continues, we will eventually lose some of the existing green space. The proposed plans for the park were reviewed by residents and voted upon. None of the plans included the train station taking up a large area of the green space. When I would assume a lot of people, think of a park, green space is usually one of the first things to come to mind. Green space that can be used by a community as a meeting place, whether that be for picnics, playing games and/or sports activities, visiting with friends, or simply enjoying the river view. Placing the station anywhere on green space, particularly on the north and east lot lines, will only cause a parking nightmare. The existing parking lot that is directly north of the washrooms and beside the fire hall would not be a feasible parking solution. The entire west side of the parking lot is a no parking zone reserved for the firefighters arriving at the hall for their emergency calls. Extra traffic along Rutland Street would only create a chaotic safety concern with the anticipated extra population of children using the park and the washrooms. I propose that the existing green space must be kept as that, green space. If the splash pad moves forward, that green space becomes even more valuable, needed for families and their children to use. Parents will want that space as an area to set a blanket on the ground, to simply keep an eye on their children at a reasonable distance. In conclusion, I need to add that I am in much agreement with the Lions Club taking on the wonderful project to refurbish the Omemee train station. I value what the Lions Club does for our village and area. In fact, I have a very close family member who has been an active member for 15 years. However, just because it is the Lions Club asking doesn't mean it is the right thing to do. Placing the train station on green space at the Omemee Beach Park should not just happen. Thank you.
Thank you. Would you stay there for a minute, just
Certainly.
in case there are questions? Can I get a motion to receive the deputation? Deputy Mayor Richardson, Councillor Warren. Any questions for the deputant? Seeing none? Councillor Ashmore?
Just wanted to thank Janet for coming today and speaking to council. Appreciate her time, and just wanted to thank her for taking the time to come today. That's all.
Thank you. Thank you very much for coming today.
Just one more thing.
Okay.
Councillor Ashmore, just to let you know, the event at the Legion you spoke about has been sold out. Woohoo! And that is a fundraiser for the splash pad as well.
Thank you. All in favor? And that's passed. We'll now move on to Committee of the Whole. That the minutes of the Committee of the Whole meeting of January 13th, 2026 be received, and the recommendations included in section 9.3 of the agenda be adopted, save and accept item 9.3.1. I have a mover and seconder. Councillor Perry, Councillor McDonald. All in favor? And that's done. Councillor Ashmore, the extraction of 9.3.1 was yours.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Mayor. And I just wanted to thank both deputants, 3 deputants that came in the last 2 weeks here to talk about it. This is really an important issue for Omemee and to the heart of a lot of people. They put a lot of work into this train station. It's been basically mothballed there for almost 50 years, and it's going to see a new life. And it's a really integral part of the history of Omemee. So with that being said, like, I know that there's differences of opinion of where it should go. We did talk at one time about different locations in Omemee along Highway 7, King Street, but due to the fact that we can't purchase land and just the sheer cost of purchasing the land was just not feasible. So a while ago, our staff, they were contacted about this, and they did recommend at the first that this would be a good location. Now, if we put I have a motion. If I could speak to it, maybe I'll say it first, and then we'll go from there. That the deputation of Karen Cooper and Marianne Martin of the Omemee and District Lions Club regarding a request for the relocation of the former Omemee train station to the Omemee Beach Park be received, and that staff work with Omemee Lions Club to assist to relocate the train station building to be located immediately east of the washroom building on Rutland Street East. If I could just have a second.
Why don't we just refer it to staff for a report back? And that will include what should be done with it.
Okay, well, we have to have options, but...
Well, when the report comes back, you're able to modify it.
Okay, well...
You know?
That's what you would propose then?
Yeah, that we refer it to staff, and we have staff do a report. They know what it is that they're looking at, and they've been working with the Lions Club, so I think it makes sense that we refer to them for a report, and we get a report back.
Okay, due to the time sensitivity, I mean, this Omemee Beach Park is being reconstructed in the next, as we speak, it's being reconstructed, and something, is there a time frame we could put this?
So,
say by the end of
first quarter?
Yep.
Okay. Is there a seconder for that? Deputy Mayor Richardson, did you want to speak more to it?
Yeah, I appreciate that. Would be good to make a decision, but this way at least we've got it. We'll have to make that decision, I guess, when the report comes. But the issue is putting the train station further down. It may be prone to vandalism. I know that the washroom was vandalized. However, parking, there is actually more parking, I believe, being allocated in the new design. And that green space, everything in that park has been calculated area-wise. It's been very meticulously calculated where everything is going. The proposed splash pad is in its own area behind the washroom facility, but we have it's all been planned. So the majority feel that you're not going to lose. It's not going to take out. It's not a very long It's a rectangular shaped building. It's not going to impede the full view of the mill pond, even if it was constructed. And people would be directed to park at the parking lot, at the car park. That's where they have to park. They should not be, there should be stipulations that Rutland Street would not be congested. And I agree with Ms. Patterson that Rutland Street should not be congested, or the overflow parking lot should not go on to the fire service parking lot. We know that, and we don't want that to happen. But with the new design of the park, overflow parking, the parking comes and goes. So it's not like it's going to be a huge amount of parking all the time. It comes and goes, comes and goes. So if we have to do this study, or sorry, this report, we'll do it, and to get council support, and then we'll make the final decision. I was hoping to make it today, but we'll make it when it comes. So hope you can support this.
Deputy Mayor Richardson?
Thank you, and through you, Mr. Mayor. I'm in support of a report at this time. Being a member of the Parks Advisory Committee, we did have a very proper public consultation when we started to review what the Omemee Park needed. And to be transparent on that review, I think a report is due diligence. We all around this table definitely recognize the historical and cultural significance of the Omemee train station, and we want to put it in the right spot. You know, allowing staff to look at what is the detail of what's being asked, the parking, because we don't know what the parking is going to be. You're building a brand new beach park that's going to have a lot more amenities, and it will be a lot more popular. So I don't, you know, that's something that needs to be considered. I also think that there needs to be a memorandum of understanding as we move forward with the, in partnership with the Omemee Lions. And, you know, I think moving forward is, for us right now, is making the right decision, is making sure that we have all the facts in front of us, so we are taking everything into consideration. I'm just a little concerned with Q1 as the report. Should we be asking staff if that's even attainable at this time?
Well, let's find out. Director?
Thanks through you, Mr. Mayor. I would suggest, just based on timing and that we are coming to the beginning of February, that Q2 might be a more appropriate timeframe. It wouldn't impede the construction or affect the timeline for the construction of the park.
Okay, so Q2. You fine with that, Councillor Ashmore?
Well, I mean, if it.
It's not going to affect the construction of the park.
No, well, I mean, I think you're referring to the construction of the relocation of the train station.
Yeah.
Right? There's two
It
different
can
things.
happen afterwards. It doesn't, you know, it's not the end of the world.
Okay.
It's been held up for 20 some odd years now, so. Okay? So Q2. All right. Anybody else? Councillor McDonald.
Yeah, through you, Mr. Mayor. Yeah, I agree that I think it's a really good project. But the only thing we don't know is that we've already done a study, we already had public consultation. We do not know that the majority of people want that train station there. So I think that it needs to be, we went all of that work to decide how the park was supposed to look like, and then all of a sudden we're changing it without public consultation. So I think it's important that we do that, so we hear from the people. So that's my comment. Thanks.
Thank you. Anybody else? Seeing none, I have a motion on the floor. Did you want to sum up?
Yeah, thanks, Mr. Mayor. So we can get details in the parking, and in the meantime, the Lions Club and the people of Omemee and surrounding area are raising funds, and they're doing it all themselves. So they're not relying on any city backing financially. Just want to make sure that when this comes here for the final decision, and I was hoping we can make a decision today, but we, you know, we have to be very careful that we put it in the right spot, and the majority and the Lions Club did say that, and it was that Rutland Street East would be the best, but I'm not going to change my mind when it comes back here. So if we have to wait for this report, and if the only thing for this to move forward, then basically we have no other choice. So, but I appreciate that we get this report as soon as possible so the Lions Club can get this done. Thank you.
Thank you. That was sum up. All in favor? And that passes. Moving on to planning advisory. That the minutes of the Planning Advisory Committee meeting of January 14th, 2026 be received and the recommendations included in sections 10.3 of the agenda be adopted. I have a mover and seconder. Councillor Warren, Councillor Richardson. Any comments or questions? Deputy Mayor Richardson, thank you. All in favor? And that passes. Moving on to consent matters, and I think Councillor Doble, you have that.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Moved by myself, seconded by Deputy Mayor Richardson, that all of the proposed resolutions shown in section 11.1 of the agenda be approved and adopted by council in the order that they appear on the agenda and sequentially numbered, save and except for items 11.1.5.
Thank you. All in favor? And that's passed. Item 11.1.5, Councillor Joyce, you had that extraction.
Yes, and thank you, Mayor. I believe my question should be directed to Director Rojas of Engineering. So I read the report. I understand why a single source award for the Canal Street reconstruction. I understand the common sense behind that. But what assurances do we have that it's still a competitive bid?
Thank you, through you, Mr. Mayor. So a couple things. We hired WSP, who's a consultant being recommended to do the contract imminent inspection. We hired them back in 2017 for engineering design approval and tender services, which have done. So we usually phase out the design assignment into two things. One is pre-construction, which is design, permitting, tender package. And one is during construction, which is contract mid inspection, geotechnical testing, all that stuff. So during the design RFP that was competitive under quotation 2017-56-CQ, we asked for their hourly rates, knowing that eventually we're going to go to construction. So we do evaluate their hourly rates for a variety of staff during the design review, proposal review. We don't award any of it, but we do review it. In addition to that, WSP is also part of our roster. So we have an engineering roster that goes the term of council. So it goes either 4 or 5 years. And they're on, for our roster, it's a pre-qualified format. So twofold. We did evaluate them during the competitive process, and they are on our current roster where we have them tied down to unit rates for various staff. So the only variation is duration of the project. So if they spent 10 hours, 20 hours, 100 hours, that's the only variation. The unit rates are already locked in and in our proposal. So that's how we have assurances. Even though it's a single source because of the value of the award, I think anything over 175,000 or such has to come to council for approval, can't be approved at the staff level. The unit rates are already locked in through various different processes. So we know we're getting a competitive process because we've established those unit rates through previous competitive processes.
That works for me. Thank you very much. I assume we're not getting 2017 unit rates, though.
No.
That's
Through
what I
you,
thought.
we are getting 2026 unit rates. There is an indexing that's permitted, so we are getting current unit rates.
Thank you very much, Director Rojas.
Councillor Warren, you also extracted that report.
Yes, through you, and I put it out to staff, if it's awarded, what, are they going to deal with complaints and how they deal with businesses in the downtown core? And also, how will this work with Enbridge in the downtown core?
Director?
Thank you. Through you, Mr. Mayor. So there's a couple things there. Our contractor is currently doing pre-condition survey. It's typical for this type of work. So where they survey all built form buildings and other assets within that corridor to have a baseline evaluation of what's there. So that's number one. Through Engineering Technical Services, we have issued municipal consents to Enbridge Gas and to Hydro, because there's some hydro relocation. So we're both working with both utility companies to coordinate either that expansion in Enbridge's case or that relocation in Hydro's case through the project. So we're working with those various two utilities and other utilities to coordinate that work with our contractor. So those are going to go concurrently. There will be separation, safety will be there. So we're following the all the various labor codes. So everyone's aware of these projects. We typically, for these types of work, especially in the downtown area, we work with our economic development team to minimize, we're not going to eliminate, but at least to minimize the disturbance to the businesses. We will reach out to all those businesses in the area and have a plan for delivery and such. Similar to what we did in downtown Lindsay, downtown Fenland, and various places in Omimi and in Bobcaygeon in the past. So we have a plan together to enact those things. We anticipate starting mid-February, early to mid-February. We're waiting on some final approvals from Tret Severn, but those are well in hand. So hopefully we'll be starting within the next 2-3 weeks.
Oh, well, that's good news, and thank you. Because I was of the understanding it was going to start in the spring, so that's good. So I maybe misunderstood. So are we going to manage the downtown businesses, or is WSP?
So through you, Mr. Mayor, so WSP is an extension of us. So we will work concurrently with them to manage it, but it is an engineering-led project. It also was identified as one of our top 26 projects. So it has that special category in our communications team. So you'll have various points of contact, various updates. We will have a dedicated web page under major projects for Canal Street that will keep live updates, what's to be done in the week ahead, sort of things. So there'll be lots of communications coming.
And just further, do you believe that it'll be done by, late spring? Are you hopeful? It has Hydro, when is Hydro going to actually change the poles?
Through you, Mr. Mayor. So that currently is an unknown. We're working on a schedule.
Mm-hmm.
The good news is that the hydro poles now are in the boulevard area, so not in the road area. They're in the future sidewalk area. So we're going to start with the sewer, water, and road infrastructure, the road base. That's going to take quite a bit of time. So we're hoping by the time we get to the boulevard area, which is later, that hydro will be relocated. And just to clarify, we've sectioned it off. So part one is Canal Street from Bolton Street to East Street or 36. And then in the future, we'll do the other half, which is from Bolton Street to Sherwood. We are anticipating working throughout the summer in that area, but hoping to have the majority of the underground works done prior to that. So that's the intent. The intent is to get all the road closures, the underground work done in the winter, spring, still keep working on the summer, but now towards the surface works, the road building, where we could potentially flag. But that's the intent. Because we phase it out into two. If we were to shut down in the summer months, it would then span over 2 years, maybe more. And we were hoping to get it done quickly in 1 year to limit the impact on the businesses and on the tourists.
So just further, is it possible to have a break and finish it in the fall when businesses aren't as busy? Is that a possibility?
Through you, Mr. Mayor, again, it would be difficult to complete everything in 1 year. So if we did have a break, it would just roll over into 2027. So it is possible, but there may be some implications to that. We can review that schedule with the contractor once we start. So we'll have a better idea once we get going. One of the major items on the critical path is dewatering. So we're trying to get our dewatering system in now, where the canal is low or the groundwater is low, and that's going to dictate how quickly the job goes. It's similar to the job in Fenland, where dewatering was a major challenge. Mind you, we started the Fenland job in the summer or in the spring, where the water levels were higher. We're hoping to get ahead. That's why we're trying to start this job in February or early March, where the dewatering is low, so that we could get a lot accomplished over the winter months.
Thank you. I look forward to looking at the schedule. Thanks.
Would you like to move the report as printed?
Yes.
Councillor Joyce, you'll second that? Okay. Did you want to speak to it? Councillor Warren? No? Councillor Joyce? No? Okay, we're good. Anybody else want to weigh in on this? Seeing none, all in favor? And that passes. That finishes consent, and we'll move on to petitions. We have one petition. It is relating to the economic benefit of the Arctic Over-the-Horizon Radar Program by the Department of National Defense. It's an electronic petition with 31 signatures. Council, what's your wish? Councillor Perry, you're making a motion to receive it. Is there a seconder? Councillor Doble? Sorry. Okay, Councillor Doble. Do you wish to speak to it?
Having reviewed the petition, the questions sound of benefit, and so I move that we do receive the petition.
Councillor Doble? Are there any questions? Councillor Ashmore?
Just through you to whoever can answer, what is the timeline on this, and what about there's some concerns about the employment, the economic spin-offs, whether they're going to be local, and more importantly, the no-fly zone that's around that. Have these issues been addressed yet, or what's the update on that?
I can respond partially. The issues were brought up at 2 public meetings that were held in Cobeconk. It is according to the Department of National Defense, an area of confidentiality and some secrecy, and it is a no-fly zone. They were going to get in touch with local pilots, also ham radio operators who may be have some problems in certain bands. Other than that, it is strictly a Department of National Defense and a federal government project. We have little or no say in what happens. I think the only thing we're involved in is some roads that they want opened up. And if everybody else has no questions, I have a couple that I'd like to ask. I don't know who, Director Rojas, are you in touch with these folks over the roads that they're looking to get opened?
Through you, Mr. Mayor. So yes, these two unopened road allowances came to Land Management Committee. So it's just not engineering. It's everyone that sits on land management. And they were going to evaluate whether we open up the road or we sell the road. Those, I think, were the two options, or we lease the road for 100 years, whatever it is. So I think those were the two options that were being looked at through the Land Management Committee.
So do you talk to the folks at DND on a regular basis?
Through you, Mr. Mayor, we had one meeting. So engineering and planning had one meeting with the National Defense regarding this project. Yeah. And there were in their land management team from Defense is in communications with our land management team regarding the status or the opportunities for the unopened road right-of-ways.
The reasons for my questions is it sounds like land management may be the best way to go. And I'm wondering, Councillor Perry, if we refer this petition to the Land Management Committee to make DND aware that the petition exists.
Certainly, Mayor, I can move that, as well as for further information on the specific questions in the petition.
They may be ready to answer and they may not.
Okay, that's fine. And also, the federal government also would have expropriation power as well in this situation, I would think, for these types of national defense projects. So that's another issue in that realty servicers and land management would have to take into account. So yeah, the reference there for more information, I believe, would be most appropriate.
But I think we just refer it to DND, period. Okay. Director Rojas?
Thank you. Through you, Mr. Mayor. So just to clarify, so the item went to land management for discussion. Those two right-of-ways were deemed surplus, but nothing has been done. So deemed surplus means the city, from a transportation aspect, from a road network aspect, those right-of-ways aren't required, right? There's no drainage features, there's no third-party utilities there. All the frontages for the existing land use are compliant. So even though we own those two right-of-ways, the city has deemed them surplus. The next step is, what do we want to do with that surplus land? So we can either sell them to whoever, or we can lease them, or we can grant permissions to them. So those are the three options that National Defense is evaluating on surplus lands. They haven't determined which way to go, but they are looking at those various three options.
So my concern here, and the reason I went down that road, no pun intended, was that how do we get the petition to DND? So the CAO is suggesting maybe we do it through economic development and just send it to them so they're aware of it. Yeah.
So through you, Mr. Mayor, I don't know if that particular department needs to forward it. If it's council's wish and you're receiving a petition, you can simply then refer it and send it off to D&D for their information. And I would just leave it at that. It is in their jurisdiction and their realm, and the petition speaks for itself what it's requesting of D&D to consider.
I am, thank you, Mayor.
Councillor Barry?
I am, thank you, Mayor, and thank you, CAO. I mean, the petitioners raised some very valid questions and concerns, so I would really hope that in addition to forwarding this, that we request D&D to respond directly to the petitioners. That would be part of my motion as well.
If we're not referring to land management.
We are not.
Okay.
Okay. Got a couple of questions. Councillor Yeo.
Thank you. Through you, Mr. Mayor. Getting back to the road issue, any decisions or any suggestions made by staff will be coming to council, correct?
For sure.
Yeah. Okay, just wanted to hear it out loud. Thank you very much.
Councillor Joyce.
Yes, Mr. Mayor, and through you, the petition talks about economic benefit, and it just triggered a thought. Does anybody know, once it's built, how many staff will be at this site that will have spin-off economic activity from?
I believe that was brought up at the public meetings. I don't recall the number, but there are permanent staff. It will be manned 24 hours a day. So, and they will buy, in the neighborhood, and they will contribute as family.
Okay, thank you.
Okay?
Mayor, the petitioners are also concerned that City of Kawartha Lakes local labor isn't being used as site workers. So I really think these concerns need to be forwarded and replied to directly.
Well, we're saying we're going to forward it to them to reply to the petition, but we don't tell the Department of National Defense what to do. They are going to decide what they want to do, and they will deal with it accordingly.
This is before us, and I think this is all we can do for now. Thank you.
Yeah. Councillor Ashmore.
Through you to you, I guess. So when we have federal government projects that are on the go, like cell towers, and for over the years we were told we can't comment and they won't listen to us, but actually Director Barry and she did help and staff planning get the ability of people to to comment on these projects. So is there any avenue, like there has to be some say? I know that people around, for example, baseboard, and as an example, I know that's 80 years old, but at least they communicate with the neighborhood in that area, and they should be better communication for the federal government. It's not like the whole secrecy thing is not good. I mean, there has to be some sort of transparency in this whole thing. And as far as employment, I mean, we've seen what happened with the solar projects. I mean, none of them, they were promised to be built locally, but they never were. But in this particular project or potential project, like that could be the same thing, but there has to be some sort of a communication flow, for the citizens to at least put their comments in, but just asking, how can they do that? Like make a deputation or I know they had 2 public meetings, but there has to be a better way of, just my opinion, that maybe opinion of other people, that people should communicate better with the government.
I would say that I don't disagree, but it's not up to the council of the City of Kawartha Lakes. It's probably more within the MP's bailiwick to do so. And I would suggest that people who are unsatisfied with the answers they get, that they contact MP Jamie Schmale's office and see what they can do as their federal representative. In the meantime, the motion is to forward the petition, to receive the petition and forward it to the Department of National Defense for comments back to the petitioners. And we have a mover and seconder. Any other comments? All in favor? And that's passed. We'll now move on to other new business and the memorandum regarding objection to the federal gun buyback program. Councillor Ashmore.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. And I wanted to thank you for allowing me to have it on the agenda here today, and certainly assisted me in trying and putting this together, this wording this document, and you know, it's we have to work together, and you did with me, and I appreciate that. So I just wanted to give a bit of a background. This isn't something that's just come up in the last few weeks. This has been ongoing for at least 6 years, probably more than that. So back in 1978, and the people here in the gallery and people listening would know, and firearms owners know, that back in 1978, fully automatic weapons were banned in Canada. They were prohibited. 1978, and that's still been the case. So in 2020, when a delusional person in Nova Scotia killed 20 people, some of it with arson, but all these guns were stolen, and were not. This was not a registered gun owner. So what happens? The Prime Minister at the time did an order in council in 2020, May of 2020, to restrict certain non-restricted firearms and made them prohibited. And they used orders in councils, basically executive orders, twice after that. And now we're at the point now where we have a gun buyback program, which tentatively ends October 31st, 2026 this year. So the issue isn't really with the police, and we really appreciate the police coming forward. As we speak right now, we have so many police services that have said that they will not participate, and we're very grateful for them. I've been a member of both police services, OPP and Kawartha Lakes Police Service, on this council, and I've seen how hard they work and how limited budgets that they have and how they allocate their resources. Obviously, they don't have the time or the money to carry on this buyback, and in fact, it's actually taking away precious staff time right now, just trying to get press releases out to ask them if they're going to be participating or not. So in a way, it's even costing them money and time right now. But like I said, we really do appreciate, especially the Kawartha Lakes Police Service and Ontario Provincial Police have come out that they're not going to be participating in this program. However, that doesn't mean that things are off the hook. There is an amnesty that they have at the end of October, and those who do not participate in this will be basically criminalized. So just to give a bit of a brief background, the Public Safety Minister was asked about what the 3 types of firearms were, and he didn't know at the time. But he did admit that this was a political move. It wasn't for public safety. And all along through this process, they've been making up definitions of what an assault rifle is, an assault weapon. So there are no such things as assault weapons. And like I said, the issue is not with the police, and we really appreciate that that they're not participating. Most of them, some are, some provinces are, but they're in the minority right now. So when we had our speaker here today, he explained about what firearms owners do. I'll give you an example of what firearms owners participate in. Here is what they have to do. They have to take this course. Canadian Firearm Safety course is 351 pages. You have to study this, and you have to have an exam. You have to have 80%, and there is no open book. Okay, you close it and you study like the old-fashioned way to pass your test, and that's how you do it. And we have gun owners on our council, which is great, and I can give you an example that when you get this, you have your firearms possession license here. This is what I'm one of 2.5 million Canadians that have that. And You also, so you take your courses, you're trained by the RCMP, you're licensed by the RCMP, you're vetted by the RCMP every day. And I'm okay with that because I signed up for that. I'm probably the safest person you could be around with because the police check me maybe twice a day. And I'm okay with that. And so are all the other citizens, the 2.5 million Canadians that are registered gun owners. So basically the whole purpose of this is to not only, we appreciate what the police are not participating in this costly buyback, but it's just that it's relentless. It never quits. Like the federal government says they want to collect these arms and they want to send them to Ukraine. Well, guess what? Even Ukrainians have said, we don't want your arms because they're not even war worthy. So they just said, no way, we don't even want your firearms that were confiscated. So as the speaker had said, we have to focus on smuggling, gun smuggling. Here's an article from the New York Times, a pretty influential paper in the US. The proliferation of illegal firearms from the United States has fueled a spike of gun violence in Canada. So we know that the issue is with the border, and that's where the focus should be, on criminals, and focus on criminals and not law-abiding firearms owners. So I'd appreciate your support in this because we need to really stand up for our legal firearms owners who are always vetted every day, and we are the model citizens who work hard to get their licenses, and they're not going to be causing the problems. They are not the problem. We are not the problem, and the government is the problem, unfortunately. And it's just relentless, and people have said they've had enough, and this is at the point, I don't know of any other country in the world that's doing this, even communist countries, that the pressure is so relentless, they just don't seem to get it. But here we are, so I'm proposing that we send a message to those listed on my memo here, Government Safety Minister, Prime Minister, and our local MP, and also to Kawartha Lakes Police Service Board and the Ontario Provincial Police, which I have said before, have said that they're not participating, which we appreciate. So I'm just looking for your support in this memo, and if you go through the memo, one of the things that I'll just point out, Canadian firearms owners are exceptionally law-abiding, and they are licensed, trained, and vetted every day by the RCMP. And criminals do not participate in gun buybacks. The program defeats the purpose of reducing crime and gun violence in our communities. The right thing to do is to end the confiscation program. It's okay if they said they made a mistake, and if they said they made a mistake and we're going to end it, I would be okay with that. But just the fact that they're not listening to the people is just really, it's really scary, really, from what we're getting. You know, I'm really, a lot of people are quite upset, and we've had enough. And it's there are quite a few municipalities in Canada that have been sending this message to the federal government, and the police services union, the police unions. So many people in society and premiers of territories and provinces are against this. So we have to make reforms to the justice system, which I hope we will, to get violent offenders, make them accountable. So I hope you support this, and it sends a strong message to the government, federal government. Thank you.
Thank you. Is there a seconder for the motion? Councillor Joyce, did you wish to speak to it?
Thank you, Mayor. Yes, I do. Just for the record, I don't own a gun, and being a federal buyback program, I didn't pay any attention to it until yesterday. It came landing on my desk with a thump. So I did a deeper dive into the whole issue, and I will separate the urban from the rural. It's quite clear, and I'm cutting through the rhetoric. So big city folks are fully in support of this. There's people there that think all guns are bad. By the same token, gun owners at the other end of the spectrum, they can't say that all guns are good. Personally, cutting through the rhetoric there, I can see this buyback program. It's hitting gun owners with too broad of a swipe. It has to be more nuanced. So it's easy to knee-jerk say, well, a buyback program is better than none. But again, digging deeper through this, I'm in favor of Councillor Ashmore's memo. This last line here, a more reasoned and less intrusive way needs to be found. Personally, I do believe there are certain guns that do not belong in the public sphere. Even responsible gun owners, I understand, but they can still be stolen. So we have to keep that in mind. But it's not about my I sit in this chair and I'm not here to push my personal agenda. And that comes back to the rural-urban divide. Ward 4 is rural. I've looked at the survey stats and I'm quite confident that the majority of my constituents are against this buyback program. And therefore I'm in support of this because that's what I do is I support the majority of my constituents. Thank you.
Thank you. Deputy Mayor Richardson.
Thank you, and through you, Mr. Mayor. Just if I can ask the councillor just some clarification. I totally appreciate the deputants and the councillor's background. Clearly know a lot more about this issue than I do. Just that when you put in there on the resolution here that the City of Kawartha Lakes objects to the firearm buyback program as it currently being mandated and implemented through a local police services. This is where I get confused because neither one of our local police services are participating in the program, and they haven't just demonstrated any, municipal impact at this time. So I'm just trying to understand the direction, if you don't mind clearing that up for me.
That last portion, implemented through local police, so as it is currently mandated, should have a period after it, and the rest of the sentence should be left out. So it at the time when Councillor Ashmore and I were drafting it, it wasn't known whether all police services. Since then, the province of Ontario has come out against it, and there is no police service in Ontario who is supporting it. So that portion of it could come out because there's nobody supporting it. But let's see what else people want to say. Councillor Warren, you had your hand up.
I was just interested in assault type guns, like AK style rifles and military rifles. And I agree with that, there are many people should not be, wouldn't be hunting with that kind of AK style rifle. But I have to look at whether or not, Councillor Joyce made a good point, rural versus urban, but I'm just not sure about AK style hunting rifles. I don't think that's appropriate, but I think there needs to be another avenue to look at dealing with gun violence, and it is a problem, gun violence. But I'm going to just listen to what everybody else has to say and the sum up. Thank you.
Thank you. Councillor Hill.
Thank you, and through you, Mr. Mayor. I wholeheartedly agree with the motion. And as somebody already stated, it's the last line that I agree with the most. To look for a more reasoned and less intrusive way. Because I totally agree with Councillor Warren that nobody needs a machine gun, or if you look at the list over, it's about 5,000, I think, but there's grenade launchers on the list. Like, sure, there's lots of stuff on the list that should be banned, but to lump in guns that people hunt with, which are on there, there's Mossberg shotguns, there's all kinds of guns on there that people hunt with. to lump them in with the grenade launchers and the AR-15s and the stuff like that, I think is just, it's ludicrous. And so this has to be dealt with and to find a more reasoned and less intrusive way to do it. Thank you.
Thank you. Councillor McDonald.
Yeah, through you, Mr. Mayor. Yeah, I also agree with the motion also. I think it's, everybody has said the comments that are, that this was a money grab back in the day. Back in the day, they wanted everybody to license all their guns. We did that. A lot of people didn't, and then all of a sudden they did away with it. And I don't know where all that money went to, but it's just another one of these things that we have to deal with. Also want to make a point that if anybody does want to participate in it, you can go to the Public Safety Canada or RCMP and participate in this program if you'd like to. So, but I will support the motion for the gun control.
Councillor Doble.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I go back to Councillor Joyce's comments about the, I guess the divide between urban and rural, and I think about it. My son is a gun owner, a very responsible gun owner. He likes to hunt. He lives in Northern Ontario, and quite frankly, it's almost a cultural thing. It's very very much a part of their lifestyle, and that's true not just in Northern Ontario but in rural Ontario. Responsible gun owners in the thousands. And I know that the buyback program is not intended to target those people, but the way it's set up right now, it is. And it needs to be better. I guess the word that Councillor Joyce used was better nuanced, and I agree. So they really need to go back to the drawing board on this, and accordingly, I'm prepared to support the motion.
Thank you. Councillor, are you okay with modifying it to put a period after the buyback program as it is currently being mandated because it's not being implemented through any local police services?
Just want to make sure we're looking at the right one. There's the amended memo, and then there's the one that was sent out prior to last Friday. So the amended memo has 2 pages, and the last page has 3 paragraphs in it. It's a second that, sorry? Second that. That the city, Kawartha Lakes, objects to the firearm buyback program as it is currently being mandated.
Period. And just take out and implement it because it's not being implemented.
Okay, that's fine.
Okay?
Yep.
Yes? Go ahead.
Was just going to speak to it briefly. Is now fine, or were you wrapping the motion with Councillor Ashmore? Yeah, sure. I just wanted to put a few points out there and speak with my fellow councillors. Canada certainly does have a strong firearms acquisition regime in place, a strong licensing program. I know that buyback programs have been done in other countries, and the RCMP is participating, I think, as Councillor Joyce mentioned. There really seems to be a classification issue here between assault-style, military-style firearms in the hands of civilians, which is my understanding what is being classified here or looking to be bought back. My understanding, too, is that this is a voluntary program, and then we are understanding, as Deputy Mayor Richardson said, I understand that, just for clarity, that Kawartha Lakes Police Service is not participating, correct? Or OPP, right, locally, or Kawartha OPP. Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Councillor Ashmore, you want to sum up?
Yeah, thank you. With regard to the program being voluntary, it is voluntary. However, as Councillor Perry had said, this was, a lot of it has to do with classification, and now firearms that were once non-restricted are now prohibited. So that way, if a gun owner who's highly educated in their courses and their licensing and their vetting are now told that they legally purchased that non-restricted firearm and it's now prohibited. The issue is not with, and I said this before and I'll say it again, we appreciate that the police are not participating. However, the issue is that come October 31st, the federal government is, we'll say hell-bent, pardon me, on making this mandatory, that those who do not declare will be found to be criminally liable. So you're going to have potentially millions of Canadians who, through no fault of their own, are going to be labeled as violating the law. And they did it all by the law. They did all the courses and they purchased it lawfully. And that's the thing. It's, even though it's not being collected and the police services are not going to be coming to collect or whatever, the government wants to use whoever they want to use. They may want to think of other services that they want to use. I hope not. But the issue is that we have to send the federal government a message that we don't want firearms owners to be labeled as criminals at the end of October because they did not participate in this, because it's not voluntary. It's compulsory, basically. It's a Hunger Games. That's what they're doing to the vetted firearms owners of Canada, 2.5 million of them. So I think it needs to send a message to the federal government. It's all we can do, and tell them that we do not agree with this. And the police are even telling them this, that we don't agree with this. The police and the Police Services Board, the premiers, why can't they get the message? I don't understand. They just don't seem to want to listen. And it has to take democracy here, starting at the municipal level, and many municipalities have voted to voice their concerns with this buyback. So I think that this at least helps. Hopefully they'll get the message, but we'll see what happens. But I appreciate your support, and I think we need to be really united with our law-abiding citizens. And I would ask for a recorded vote, please, as we go forward. And we'll go from there. So lots of opinions and facts have been put on this table, and appreciate everybody's opinion. So I think we're giving a message to the federal government today to reconsider this, and hopefully they will. Thank you.
I know too.
That was some of them.
Okay.
Mr. Clerk.
Recorded vote requested by Councillor Ashmore. Councillor Ashmore?
In favor.
Councillor Perry?
In favor.
Councillor Warren?
In favor.
Councillor McDonald?
In favor.
Councillor Joyce?
In favor.
Councillor Yeo?
In favor.
Deputy Mayor Richardson?
In favor.
Councillor Doble?
In favor.
Mayor Elmsley?
In favor.
That's unanimous.
Councillor Joyce, you have bylaws.
I do, Mr. Mayor. And through you, moved by myself, seconded by Councillor Perry, that the bylaws shown in section 14.1 of the agenda, namely items 14.1.12 and including 14.1.17, to be read a first, second, and third time, passed, numbered, signed, and the corporate seal attached.
All in favor? And that's passed. I have a motion to adopt the closed session agenda. Deputy Mayor Richardson, Councillor Yo. You good with that? All in favor? And that's passed. Any disclosures of pecuniary interest in closed session items? Seeing none, should any arise, let the chair know. We'll deal with it accordingly. At this point of the meeting, City Council will go into closed session to consider the items under Section 16.3 of the agenda. As per our procedural bylaw requirements, I'm asking all electronic participants in our meeting today to confirm to me by raising their hands that they are in a private room where no other persons can overhear the deliberations and the internet connection is secure and not publicly accessible. Thank you. I need a mover and seconder that council convene into closed session at 3:00 p.m. pursuant to Section 239(2) of the Municipal Act in order to consider matters identified in Section 16.3 of the regular council meeting agenda of Tuesday, January 27th, 2026, namely items 16.3.1 and 2 and including 16.3.2. Mover? Councillor McDonald, Councillor Joyce. All in favor? At this point, the meeting broadcast will now end for members of the public watching on Cogeco, your TV cable, live stream of the meeting on YouTube, and the rebroadcast will now be temporarily paused for members of the public. When closed session is completed, the live stream and rebroadcast of the meeting will resume to address the remaining open session items on the agenda. All remaining staff, with the exception of those involved within closed session, are now instructed to leave the electronic meeting and council chambers.
26. Be read a first, second, and third time, passed, numbered, signed, and the corporate seal attached.
All in favor? And that's passed. I have a motion to adjourn. Councillor Yo, Councillor Ashmore. All in favor? And we're done. Thank you all very much today. And I'll make you an offer you can't refuse.